Welcome to the Next Level Podcast with Brian Daniels. Ooh, boom shakalaka.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Next Level Podcast. This is episode 116.
Nice.
Pretty crazy that we're already there, that far ahead. On this episode, I have joining me my amazing wife, Raven,
Hello.
and my podcast tag team partner, Josh Thundershaver. What's going on, Josh?
Oh, yeah.
So on this episode, before I tell you what it's about, let me set it up first. We, as of this recording, we are recording this on Tuesday, July 1st. You guys won't be hearing it until next week, but we just got back 2 days ago from PopCon Indy. This was the 12th PopCon. This is the 12th one that I have attended. I've been to every single one. That is what this episode is going to be about, is our pros and cons. I used to do a podcast convention review series called Pros and Cons. It was a written review series. We had it on our website when we had one. And I also used to do this on another website too. Started reviewing conventions. And I thought, you know what, why not bring this in the form of a podcast? So we can I figure we'll talk about that today. Talk about all of the pros and the cons of this year's PopCon Indy, because I thought that'd be a great way to do an episode, is kind of give those criticisms, especially since we just got back from it while they're fresh in our mind. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. This is not going to be an entirely negative show. There was a lot of positives, and also I was able to kind of go through and find quite a bit of criticisms. We'll put it that way. So, first things first, I want to talk about some of the vendors. When we go, there's also going to be a convention vlog that you guys will have already seen. It will already be out by the time this episode drops. You can go to the Domain YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/the Domain GPCE. You can watch our vlog. So that way you get an idea and can see for yourself all of the things we talk about here in this episode. That kind of will pair nicely, if you will, with that video. But usually when we go to a convention, we're there to talk to vendors, and there were a few vendors that at least I know Raven and I talked to. I think one of my favorite ones was the Sweet Steam Chocolatier. She was cool. Her name is Laura Croft,
which is neat.
Which is pretty cool. That's the main
character is neat
in Tomb Raider. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty cool. Basically, it was all cocoa flavors, and some of them were like tea flavored cocoa.
Okay.
So
they had an Earl Grey infused cocoa. They had an espresso infused cocoa that did have a little bit of caffeine in it, she said. There was like butterscotch flavored cocoa, chai, all kinds of stuff. It was
That's
really
great.
Yeah, it was really cool.
You'll see her in our vlog. She was great. She gave us a few different flavors to try, along with some mango flavor marshmallows to go with our cocoa, because you gotta have marshmallows with your cocoa, right?
Right.
So you guys, I'm sure, will see some videos about that along the way on the Domain YouTube channel. Another one I wanted to talk about was what I thought was kind of cool was the Key Pop Keychain Company. They were pretty cool. They had a really big a booth there. It's pretty massive. Basically what they do is they make custom keychains, and they were actually giving everybody there a Indy PopCon keychain for free for visiting their booth, and we got a couple of those. Those guys were great. They had the stop signs there from the game Lethal Company. If you don't know what that game is, it's a multiplayer game. It's pretty fun from what I've seen. They were pretty cool. Another one that what were some other ones that you guys checked out? What were some ones that you guys went and thought were pretty cool?
Oh, and of course, I've got all of the stuff right here. I can't remember the name of it, so let me try to get, without causing a damn avalanche, these boxes and get stuff together. The guy that had the blind boxes, the Imaginarium, they had all of those blind boxes.
Okay. Did you buy one?
I bought two.
Ooh,
I opened them up on an episode of Check It Out, so you'll have to
okay,
stay tuned for that.
perfect.
But I got two. I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and the Friday the 13th one.
Nice,
One of them was worth way
nice.
more than the money I paid for it. The other one was worth way less than the money I paid for it.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
so if that doesn't entice you to see that episode, you'll see me get very excited and then very upset.
Now, aren't those blind boxes supposed to be like at least what you paid for it? Like have items in there that are at least what you paid for it?
Well, one of them I paid
It's a good
$40
question.
for, and it was two Funko Pops and an action figure.
Oh, yikes.
I was pretty upset
Okay.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What wasn't there another one? You went to another vendor, right? You got something pretty cool too. You got a vinyl record thing, right?
Oh yeah. So he's an artist.
Mhm.
Well, I didn't
Yeah.
know if we were talking about art or anything like that, but yeah,
Yeah, so everything
Beanie
PopCon.
Boy.
Everything
Uh,
PopCon. What happened at PopCon?
yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So I'm walking. It's another. I was waiting on you guys for to go to another one that we'll talk about here shortly, and this was so great that it just immediately caught my eye.
Hmm.
And because you don't see a lot of merchandise for it at all, so when you see like an art piece, it definitely lets you know that somebody else out there really loves the like random obscure thing that you love. And they did a Clerks animated series. They made six
Yeah.
episodes, but only two of them actually aired. It's nuts.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
I think they've aired it a couple times on Comedy Central, but really its life was on the DVD. So
Mhm.
I'm walking down this aisle and I see this. It's just Dante Randall Jan Bob from the animated series, like spray painted um, onto this vinyl record. I had to have it then and there. I started talking to the guy, and he also shared my love for the series. And he gave me the price, and I'm like, you know what? That's
Mhm.
worth it for an art. A piece of art
Nice.
from someone else that also loves the subject.
Heck
And
yeah.
we chatted for a little bit, and I gave him my card, and he gave me his, and it was a really cool interaction that I had. So this he is one of those people that is legit about the art and the love of the game. So definitely
What's
look
the name
into
of
him. So,
what's their name?
Beanie Boy is the name. That's
TC Beanie Boy is what I'm seeing
yeah.
here. Yeah,
You got TC. Okay, the card just says Beanie Boy.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm going. You can go on you can actually give them a follow on Instagram at TC Beanie Boy, and check out all of that stuff. I
mhm.
believe he's in the process of working on a custom thing for us for the bunch of marks. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And you guys definitely see that too as well if you follow us over there on a bunch of marks. On all of our social medias, you can go to youtube.com/, or I'm sorry, you can Google us actually. Just Google us. A bunch of
Google
marks.
bunch
It's
of
our
marks.
pro wrestling brand where we cover pro wrestling.
Mhm.
And it's pretty cool. I'm actually looking at so you got the Clerks one, right? The Clerks record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll show Raven.
Yeah.
That's what he got. Yeah, that's pretty sick. I've always liked the vinyl record art stuff. That stuff's pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
I've seen that before other places, and I'm looking through this guy, and he's got some pretty cool stuff. I've actually been talking to him this week too. So, uh, pretty sick.
Very cool. Yeah.
Anybody
Very
else got any
level.
vendors maybe that you stopped to talk to you're interested in?
Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to talk to a whole lot. We didn't spend a whole lot of time in the vendor hall.
You're busy this week.
Yeah,
You're
we
busier
we were
than you
really
usually are.
busy. But one person or one booth that I stopped and talked to on Sunday is Earth and Fire, and she does a lot of stone jewelry, and she hand makes it all there. And when I asked how she came about the source for her stones,
Mm.
she said and she's local to Indy, and she said that there is a shop up in West Lafayette that
Oh, nice.
she gets all of her stones from. And I was like, I thought that was really cool because it's local supporting local,
Yeah,
and
Mhm.
small businesses.
for
And
sure.
ironically, her name is Crystal as her real name, she said. And I just thought that was great that,
Yeah.
she is in, making the crystal jewelry. But I mean, like this stuff is beautiful. I mean, like you see those little kitschy places that has like the
Mhm.
same kind of stuff, all the time when we go by. And hers was absolutely like designer, I mean, quality. It
Was
was
that the one that
absolutely,
had
yeah, it was
the
it was
Millennium
gorgeous.
Falcon?
No, that was not
Oh,
her.
okay.
No,
Okay,
that
my
was not her.
apologies.
No,
Okay.
that's okay. I don't remember the name of that one, but this one is Earth and Fire. And she does have an actual shop in Indianapolis as well as you can they have a website also, and they have
Excellent.
handmade art, jewelry. They have necklaces, earrings, bracelets, malas, the prayer
Well, that's
beads.
cool. Okay.
Absolutely gorgeous. And when I say it's
Those
designer quality, it is really designer quality.
That's
nice.
great.
It just really stood out, and she's so sweet and so friendly. Small black owned business. So
There you go.
yeah, definitely check them out.
Nice. So let's get to something else that was going on during PopCon.
Yeah.
It was a convention within a convention. It was PurCon, uh, PURRCON,
Hmm.
and this was ran by our good friend and friend of the show, AJ, um, and Katie McGlynn, and she's been a part of every single PopCon also, and she does Pet Pals TV local over in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And it was a convention within a convention. They had a nice little section. It wasn't like it was sectioned off, it just kind of was blended into the vendor area, which I thought was pretty cool. I was kind of curious how they were going to do that, and I think they did that pretty well. I love kittens. And this was mostly a cat related thing. You actually got to see some really tiny baby itty bitty, like 3 day old kittens, I think was 2 day old kittens.
2 day old, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
we saw a little 2 day old kitten that they all had to be hand fed.
Yep, bottle fed
We were bottle
every
fed.
2 hours, and there were seven of them, and it was kind of a surprise for PopCon because they literally got the call that morning to
Yeah.
see if they could take them, and they were like, absolutely, we can help them. So
We're
they
gonna make this a
brought
thing.
them to PopCon. Yeah.
That's great.
But this area of the convention was included with your admission. So if if you went to PopCon, you got to go to this area as part of it. It wasn't any additional cost. They did have a VIP badge you could buy, which was a special badge, and I kind of feel like I missed out on getting a badge because I'm always about collecting the badges. So they had a little VIP area, which I think were available to VIPs, was the kitten therapy sessions. I think you had to be a VIP to get those. I think I don't know. I think that's what it was. I mean, that's what it says on the website here. So, oh, it's available first to VIPs. So
Yeah,
for
I was gonna
VIP,
say, I thought
you get to
anybody could do
access
it.
this.
Yeah,
But they were having like cat conversations.
because I really missed
Um,
out on the kitten therapy,
I
and I'm so
know.
sad.
Um, well, I'm sure they'll do it again. This probably
Yeah.
will come back. They had all kinds of special programming. Our friends at Second Breakfast Improv did a little performance, which was pretty cool to watch.
Oh, yes.
They had all kinds of like interactive games, such as musical cat boxes and cat that tune.
Hmm.
And then just all kinds of stuff,
They
local
had little
cat groups.
card games and stuff on the
Yep,
table there.
yep,
You could coloring books, you could color. It was all like
yeah,
cat related. It was cute.
yeah. Nice little small section of
Hmm.
the convention. Nothing I want to talk about. Um, is the podcast stage. First off, I want to thank our friend Brandon Peters of the Brandon Peters podcast. He is the one that has been responsible for the PopCon Live podcast stage now for about 4 years now, something like that, 3 or 4 years.
Hmm.
And he always does a really good job of curating everybody's podcast and things.
Hmm.
And I will tell you this: if you have a podcast and you're looking to perform your show or record your show, rather, is what I should say, in front of a live audience, this is a really great way to do it.
It is. Yeah.
Maybe if you've ever considered taking your show on the road and you kind of want to practice, it's a really great way to do that. Um, what I will say, a couple things. As far as like your panelists go, I think that if you have panelists on your podcast for the podcast stage, I think they should at least get a day pass for that day of the show. We kind of were working that out kind of a little bit. That's just a small criticism.
Yeah.
Is just making sure because they do ask you like how many people are going to be on your show, and I think as long as you have like four or less, they should get at least a day pass for the day that they're gonna, like your panelists or whoever. I'm sorry, your hosts, your co-hosts are gonna be. So like if you're wanting if you want to do your podcast there, you should get enough passes for that day to go to PopCon, at least for that day. So like say for
Right.
instance we go back next year,
Sorry.
if we didn't get press passes or anything, it'd be the four of us,
Mhm.
including our friend Bryce who does the show with us too. He's not here on this episode, but we should all get a day pass, right? If we're
Yeah.
doing our podcast that day, we should all at least get a day pass for that day. But we were able to work it out so that Josh and Bryce were able to get passes at least, and hopefully that's something they can kind of better figure out. Um, I think for the emails, I'm trying to go through here. Let me make sure. When I got my email for here's my PopCon folder or my PopCon files. When it tells you that your event was approved, it just
Mhm.
says in the email, your application for live podcast application has been approved. It does not tell you in the email. Oh, wait, yeah, it does. Oh, never mind. Psych. It does tell you in the email. But what is interesting in the email is it doesn't say how many people were approved for your show. So I'd like to think that in the because it's all done through Aventi, which I'm not a big fan of Aventi.
Yeah, I
For
don't like it either.
Yeah, I mean that's my first criticism really. My first big one is using Aventi
Mhm.
is convoluted. So like when you go to look at your application when you're logged into Aventi and you look at your live podcast application, it'll say the title, um, it'll tell it doesn't tell you what day it got approved for, and unless it's in the but it is in the email. Um, when I put special requests, I put it'll be me and three other hosts, but it didn't tell me in the approved portion how many passes I got.
Right.
So if PopCon's listening, whoever's in charge of that, I think it'd be cool if you made it clear whether or not people on podcast, whether it's the host. Uh, let's just put it this way: I think PopCon needs to make it clear if podcasters who have not already paid for a badge, like say for instance you're a podcast and you haven't bought your badge yet and
Mhm.
you want to do your show on just Saturday of PopCon, I think PopCon needs to make it clear if podcasts that once are approved, everybody that's doing the show gets a pass for the day. They need to make that clear.
But that needs to be like pre-approved too, like how many people. Like you can't just say,
Like
"Oh yeah, whoever's doing it,"
no,
and then have like seven people.
that's what I meant earlier was if
Right.
I
Yeah,
think if it's
four or less.
a maximum of four people can get a pass for the day
Yeah.
to be on your podcast. If you have more than that, they're going to have to buy their own day pass.
Yeah.
That way, there's like it's fair. But I think that's one thing, PopCon, if you're listening, and I hope you guys do listen to this episode. That would be one of my things is make it clear what the guidelines are for podcasters and if they get a badge.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I mean, if I wasn't a lifer of PopCon, what would somebody who's new to PopCon would they have gotten what we got, right? So I like to think so because PopCon's pretty good at working with people. I will definitely say that out of all the cons I go to, they are the absolute best at working with everybody.
Yeah.
No matter how long you've been going to PopCon, they're great at working with people. My other thing about PopCon podcast age, and this is just an idea, and I'll let you guys tell me what you think about this. I know I've talked to Raven about this outside of the show. I think it'd be kind of cool if for next year and moving forward,
Mhm.
I haven't had a chance to talk to Brandon Peters about this. Is you know how they always have like a writer's row and an artist alley? I'd like to see like a podcaster's zone or something. Um, if maybe they can start selling like podcasters booths, like
Mhm.
booths for podcasters,
Right.
and give them a set rate. And then what they do is they put all of the podcasters around and near the podcast stage. Or maybe do like if they want to draw foot traffic, they could do every other booth as a podcast.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
Is
you were
the
thinking
only,
about that.
yeah, and I mentioned it to you the other night. Is, as far as like foot traffic, I mean, people who may not think they're interested in podcasting or what have you, they might not even venture over in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think that was one of the reasons they have the podcast stage out in the vendor hall amongst the,
Yeah.
the people selling their wares, so like, people
Yeah.
come by and listen.
Yeah, I think what they could do is they could like sprinkle. So you have like, remember where it was at this year, and then across from it was the writers' row. So maybe what you do this time instead is you have it be a row of booths, but like every other booth is a podcast.
Hmm.
So that way you've
Yeah.
got like an arts and craft booth, then a podcaster. And then after that you have maybe another arts and crafts booth, then a podcaster. That way at least it's like the podcast row, but with
Yeah.
other types of booths sprinkled in,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you still want
you
stuff
know.
to buy.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and then you want people to still walk through, you know,
Hmm.
that area. Um, I think that'd be kind of cool.
I
That way
will say,
podcasters can buy their own booth too, maybe at a
yeah,
at a set rate. So that way, like if we want to buy a booth next year for PopCon, we can get a podcaster's booth,
Hmm.
which
right.
is just for us. Maybe it's 3 chairs, and then that way we can kind of rotate ourselves in and out throughout the day.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Um, just a little fun idea, something they could add.
something to think about. Yeah,
Um, yeah,
but I will say that I really like the fact that on our right was Wild Bill's, not because I have a soda problem, but because that brought all sorts of different
Yeah, it
people,
brought a lot of traffic over
multiple,
there.
several times a day,
Yep.
coming right next to us, and maybe being able to hook them. And then on the other side, they had the cosplay repair station,
oh
which
yeah,
I
that's right, they
definitely
did. Yeah,
which I definitely noticed a lot of people stopping and listening to us while being over
yeah,
there too, while waiting on like glue to
yeah,
dry and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I
yeah. I think
definitely
that's a
feel
good
like
idea.
that was a good asset to have both of those on either side. Whoever decided on that,
That was
that was
yeah, I
good.
think it was
I
Brandon,
noticed
but
you.
maybe not.
Yeah, they fit
Okay.
us in a spot where
Yeah.
people kind of had to stand still
I
where we were.
What did you guys think about the books being over there, the authors were there?
Thought it was great until I
I
saw bitch or slut on Whore Island just chilling out. That kind of man, I have no
No,
filters, but that one caught me off guard.
I meant in terms of like foot traffic or whatnot, because I didn't really see a lot of people over there.
No.
um I think for the writers' row, they need to move it away from the podcast stage so that way
That's
people
yeah.
aren't, because when you want to talk about books and stuff, you really
Mhm.
want to have a good conversation with an author. And it's hard to do that when you have literally people talking in microphones real loud right there. So they
Right
might
there, yeah.
not want to put the writers' row right across from
That was
the podcast
that
page.
that was one of my only criticisms that I could think of right now was the placement of that in regards to the podcast stage
Yeah.
because I don't think it drew foot traffic to either place. I think
Yeah.
it kind of drove it away. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
I think like you said, people trying to talk and look at books and read and everything. And I don't know about anybody else. I
Yeah.
know it can get kind of loud at a con anyway, but when you're
Yeah.
trying to like
Oh, yeah.
focus on, so many different types of books and like reading and everything, you're going to get easily distracted by what's going on. Like if there's a microphone, a speaker right behind you,
Mhm.
so
For sure.
I don't necessarily think that is the best idea. But
Yeah. I think they need to move that they need to not have those
yeah,
writers right there.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like a good fit anyway.
right.
That didn't mesh very well right there in that area.
Yeah. Yeah, because that particular publication, that publishing company, they're there
Yeah, that's
at
Robert
PopCon
Southgate's
off the
thing.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Robert Southgate.
Four Horsemen.
Hmm.
And they have a lot of great books, but I'm
Yeah.
What
just
they had to do.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard to focus because you want to talk about books with authors, and that's why they're there. And I feel like it didn't really. I think it kind of maybe drew away, like you said, people from want to check it out.
Right.
Let's do another positive. Let's talk about. I loved the WCWO.
Yeah,
Was there.
that was great.
That's cool.
I think
Yeah,
that is a trend that we've been seeing in like the last year or so at different cons, and I would like to see it happen more.
I
Same.
agree. I want to see PopCon lean more into wrestling. I know.
Yes.
I think if they were to add another genre to PopCon, it should be pro wrestling. And here is why.
I absolutely agree.
Pro wrestling is bigger than it has been in forever. And
Mhm.
we're in a golden age of pro wrestling. And I think if they want to strike, they need to strike while the iron is hot.
Yep.
And they need to really lean in. I want to see pro wrestlers get booked for the show as guests.
I would
I would
absolutely
too.
love that. I mean,
Yeah.
we saw so many different cosplayers there, dressed as wrestlers,
Yeah.
this year, which I don't recall seeing that as much in past years as I did this year.
No. Yeah.
Even though I know that they had WCWO last year, I didn't get to see any of it last year because I came
Yeah.
in late. But I don't recall seeing as many wrestling cosplayers
Well, yeah, there was a
last year
lot
as
of
I did
wrestling
this year.
cosplayers this year.
Yeah, there really
Yeah, a
Yeah.
was.
lot. And I think that's a sign of the things to come. I think that since
It
the
is.
next I think that since WWE is going to have SummerSlam in Indy one year,
Hmm.
Mhm.
that needs to be the year where they pair themselves up with leaning into pro wrestling. Because
Right.
Indy is
I
now
mean,
a
they
big
need to
pro
build up
wrestling.
to that before.
That's what I'm saying. But they need to
Absolutely.
start getting, because I will tell you guys this, spoiler alert, I did have a few people from PopCon ask me about a few wrestlers. I was like, oh, you guys gonna have wrestlers?
Mhm.
Didn't happen. Very sad to hear that. But
Yeah.
Carl and Chris Keys, if you guys are hearing this, the two main owners of two of the big owners of the show that are more public facing than I think the other
Mhm.
one, get some wrestling, more wrestling, more. Um, get like Lex Luger could do a show there. He would draw Sergeant
Yeah.
Slaughter. You don't have to get like
Sergeant
newer
Slaughter
guys.
is a fantastic
Um,
entertainer at
well,
conventions.
that and he's GI Joe. That's like a
He's
crossover.
Yeah,
That's
it
pop
fucking
is.
culture.
dude. He made me
Yeah,
an honorary GI Joe.
yeah. So I mean, you could do
Like,
that.
how fucking cool is that?
You could get like Mick Foley could show up because he's an author.
Yes.
He
He
has
lives in
books
Indiana.
and he's
He
made
does. Yep.
yeah, and he's made kids books.
Yeah.
So there's your crossover.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could just get those
Yeah.
guys right there if you want to really kind of start to build that, and do that. And then I think what you should do, I do like that they have a WCW wrestling booth right outside the doors, which I think that's a good idea. That's
Yeah,
where
I
you
love
could
that.
go. But I think if you're going to have some wrestling talent, they don't need to be in the same row as a celebrity guest. I think they should be sprinkled throughout the vendor hall.
I agree with that.
Um,
Yeah.
they tend to be better off that way.
Okay.
Um, um, and I think that's another thing that they could do a little bit more of too is sprinkle some of the because I noticed they had the YouTubers in like that L-shaped thing. I think the YouTubers should be in the middle of the vendor hall. They should sprinkle those guys out too. Become or maybe give them their own thing.
I don't know. I liked him
Yeah.
over there, but I don't know.
I want to, but I do want to see more pro wrestling. I want to see more pro wrestling. Like I promise you, I know there are some people at PopCon that don't understand that work at PopCon don't understand it, but there are some of us that do understand it. And if you guys need help understanding more about pro wrestling, I know some people that would gladly help you guys
Yeah.
in that department for
I
sure.
I was absolutely when I started getting into wrestling as a fan, I was so surprised and pleasantly surprised at how many crossovers or uh, uh,
Yeah.
um, how many other fandoms love wrestling as well.
Oh, the
Just
horror wrestling community is basically the
yes.
same group of people. If
Well,
it's a
and the
Venn
comic book
diagram.
wrestling community is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Very close.
I was in a I'm in a lot of different Facebook book groups.
Yeah.
And I was in a psychological thriller group last night, and a woman was like, "Oh, when your husband loves wrestling but doesn't want to go to a show alone," and she posted her reading her Kindle while she was at the taping of Raw and SmackDown, and then so that
That's
launched a
great.
whole conversation in the comments, about books and wrestling and everything like that, and so it's it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how people didn't take video games seriously for a long time, and now it
Real
is
long time.
Yeah.
bigger than, movies and everything probably combined. Wrestling is
Yeah.
getting there. Wrestling's huge.
It's huge. And
It's
for
sports
Indy
entertainment.
to have this
Yeah.
big partnership with the Indy Sports Corporation, PopCon needs to get into that. Like seriously, like
Absolutely.
right now is
Yep.
the best time. You had Royal
And
Rumble
fans,
this year.
Carl.
Yeah, you had Royal Rumble this year.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, they need to do something. I mean, if they're gonna when they have WrestleMania, they really need to strike on that.
Mhm.
Like that year. Like seriously, lean into wrestling. Make wrestling one of your themes. Like do it. Um, which that's another criticism. I don't have it wrote down, but I want to talk about the they used to have like the 9 fandoms of PopCon, and I don't see this anywhere on their
Yeah.
website.
Oh,
They
I
used to
forgot
do
about that.
this.
Yeah.
Where's it at? They used to have
Well, maybe they don't have it on there anymore.
maybe they don't do that anymore because that makes me really sad. If that's not a thing.
Mhm.
But you guys remember they added like horror?
Yeah.
That was their thing, right?
Yeah,
They added horror.
which was
And I was like,
beautiful.
ooh, you guys are gonna add horror to your list of
But there
things. And I don't really see horror a
Yeah.
lot. Like I don't see the representation um of the horror stuff there, and I want more horror. I want all these
Well,
fandoms.
thank
I'm
you.
trying to find a
I
uh
appreciate that.
if somebody can speak for a second while I'm trying to look up all these
Yeah.
fandoms for
Well,
PopCon. Go ahead.
because I do remember too, because like the first year they had the different bracelets that you could go around and all that
Yeah.
stuff was crazy. And I definitely feel like there were more different things that were represented. And I feel like now it's just kind of like, all right, well,
Well, I mean,
here's some stuff,
to
and
be
I get it.
fair, I don't
Yeah.
really see any that like I think music was one of them too, and I don't really
Mhm.
see a lot of music based stuff there
That's
either.
a good point. Because, and especially, and I'm not saying anything about anybody else on the podcast, but I feel like you and I try to do more music episodes and
Yep.
try to push for that more often because it's something where like it's a fundamental part of pop culture and nobody really realizes how important
Mm-hmm.
music is.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like we've done episodes of the show about soundtracks, for
Mhm.
movies and
Theme
things
song
like
just a couple
that. And
weeks ago, yeah.
like I was gonna say, we just did the theme songs, TV
Hmm.
show theme songs. I mean, like it sets the tone for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really
I'm
does.
still trying to find them.
No, you're
There was
good.
like
Um,
anime, gaming, internet.
yeah,
Um,
because they used to have a lot more
they
YouTubers.
had like
Remember the
these little
first year they had all
icons
the
that
memers? Yeah.
they had these icons that like represented every one of the fandoms, and I think they did
Don't
away with that.
remember if it was comics or superheroes, but that was one specifically because I
I
remember
can't
it was
find
a
that.
silhouette of a generic guy. Yeah. Um.
Yeah, they had like the PopCon Indy logo guy. Remember him?
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't find the freaking fandoms. I can't find the fandoms. Damn. Oh wait, here they are. Yeah,
There you
see these
go.
little logos?
Yeah,
See, I'm showing Raven like, see, they had little logos for things.
I remember.
Yeah, so it was superheroes. It was gaming. It was like comics. Hold on, I'm trying to find the. Yeah, here we go. Anime, comic books, gaming, science fiction, and fantasy, collectibles. But they all have little icons, and I don't know what happened to those icons. What happened to those icons, PopCon? Bring them back. Those were cool.
Where'd they go?
Those were dope.
Yeah.
I miss those little, I miss
And I
those
think,
little logos. Maybe they do
yeah,
use them. I just haven't seen them. But they did definitely have them when they first started for like the first
it-
3 or 4 years of their show back in from like 2014 till I think like 2017, 18. They used them for a while. Now I don't see them anymore. But I do remember they made an announcement saying that we are adding horrors, one of our genres. And I was like,
well,
okay,
where? Yeah.
where's the horror at? And I know they've had like let me look this up real fast because I know where I want to figure this out. But it felt like they had these different genres. But anyway, I'll put
Yeah.
it this.
No, and it definitely
Um,
did. It split it up more and made everybody. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. That's more. At least to me, it made it feel like all of the fandoms were more properly represented because it was a way to categorize it and be like, "Hey, guess what? This is for you,"
Mhm.
stuff like that. But I mean, I get it though.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah, here's the announcement. So I found it. So they announced
okay.
this in 2023. It says 10 years in Indy. We're celebrating the 10th anniversary of PopCon. After 9 years and 9 genres, we're adding a 10th horror. But I haven't seen many horror activities. So I
No,
haven't seen many like maybe I'm missing them. I don't know.
Brian. I haven't either, and trust me,
You
that
would
is
be
my
able to
shit.
find it. I was gonna say
That
you
is
would
my
know where
shit. That
they're
is
at.
where I live. I was gonna say there was the one guy that was selling the Hawaiian shirts that I bought two of. That like, man, I feel like me and that guy could fucking talk for 7 days about some stuff. But that was really only the real horror element there. I couldn't think of any of the actors that were anything. So there weren't like any of this, special celebrities. Like some people wrongly put Ghostbusters, into the horror genre. It's horror adjacent, I guess, but Circle City Ghostbusters, they're going to be there anyway. But yeah, I really don't feel represented in the horror community at all.
No, I don't either. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize this, but in 2015 they had Chris Masters there.
I don't
Oh,
know
no
who that
shit.
is.
Dude,
Yeah,
I remember that.
I'm going
No
through some
one
old
can escape the
posts.
master lock. Yeah.
I'm going through
I
some
don't
old.
know who that is.
He's a former WWE superstar.
Oh, cool.
He was Chris Masters. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But they had 9 genres. They added a 10th. They added horror, and I still can't find the little squares that show all the genres, but it's fine. But I just want them to do more stuff with pro wrestling and do more things with horror, have more horror themed attractions, if you will. For more horror celebrities. I know they had like some people from Walking Dead, which okay, that counts, but
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
I would love it if they would even like on their like maybe have a section of like their website. They could bring those genres back and then you can click and sort by what to do by genre.
Yeah.
And like,
That
That
okay,
would be cool.
Brian,
here's
that's a
all the
Yeah, I like that
fantastic idea.
idea.
like have a little maybe show all the icons, show all 10 icons,
Mm-hmm.
and then say for all your science fiction, click here. And then it just auto
Yeah.
sorts all
Yeah.
the celebrities,
I
panels,
love that idea.
and things by that genre. See, I was getting somewhere. You got to give
Mhm.
me a minute. It gets there.
Yeah.
But and then you could do like, okay, for horror, here's all of our horror themed activities, right?
I think
You
that's a
like
great idea.
superheroes? Here's all of our
Yep.
superhero things
Hmm.
and vendors or whatever. Just
Yep.
that way, it's all sorted by genre because they are big. They were big on genre, but I'm looking through the site.
I don't know
And seeing the
necessarily about putting vendors in those categories. I think this is more like activities,
panels
celebrities,
or
panels,
celebrities. That's
stuff
good.
like
That's a
that.
good point. I can do that.
Yeah, because there are so many vendors that do
Yeah.
multiple things. That would just be too much.
Well, and some of it really wasn't clear on some of the guests because, like, they didn't really do a lot of good at updating the comic book artists this year. Um,
Yeah.
there was one guy, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I don't really have a lot of his stuff, but he's pretty cool. And then I was just kind of wandering around and literally like ran into Gavin Smith's booth. And
Hmm.
it's like, oh, Gavin,
Yeah, they
I
don't
didn't know
even
you were
have.
supposed to be here. I genuinely like you as a person. Let's hang
Yeah, they
out for
didn't
a
even
second.
put Gavin Smith as a comic book guest because
Yeah.
I'm on their website and it
Oh,
says
wow.
well, I'm on their website
Oh, yeah, they just have one
and
person.
it's
Holy cow.
Stuart Sager.
Who I never even saw. I don't know where the
I
fuck
don't even
he
I didn't
was.
see him, but
Yeah.
I don't see anybody. There's nobody else. It's
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
just that dude. It's just him. They definitely should have had Gavin Smith there. He's huge.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, TMNT was okay. Jesus Christ, you had the main
Like you had the
TMNT
voice
actors there.
actors, yeah,
Why would you not put Gavin Smith
over
Well,
there.
on
not
the
only that,
Oh,
dude, he's from
now you're making me
Indianapolis.
mad.
Do
Well, not
what,
only that,
Josh?
he's from Indianapolis, and then
Yeah.
not only that, the guy who fucking draws the Star Wars comics for Marvel lives, in the same city that I do in Lafayette. So it's like I really feel like they're drifting away so far from the comic book section of it that it's like, man, you really are missing some bread and butter there because I think a lot of the best conversations I had this whole weekend were talking comics about people. We're talking about comics with people, you know what I'm saying? Um, it's crazy that it's just we had some great vendors, but it feels like it was just a very like, okay, kids, here's your sandwiches, now go play, type of way of looking at it.
Yeah. So I finally got the
You
genres.
found the thing you've been looking for.
It's sci-fi, fantasy,
Uh-huh.
comedy, anime and animation, horror, action adventure, fan film, supernatural thriller, documentary, Internet culture and gaming slash sports. Those are supposed to be their genres.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's all their current genres right now,
Hmm.
Okay.
as far as I can see. So, but I don't see that anywhere on their website, and if it's there, I don't see it at all.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Maybe they're kind of getting away from that. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I love that
Well,
though.
that
I
is a
mean,
good
that's
question. But
I love that though. I loved the
I
little
feel like that's the
icons and the
wrong thing to move
logos.
away from. Yeah.
I think it is the wrong thing to move around. Speaking of moving away from, let's move away from this discussion
Yeah,
and let's get
Yeah.
to
we've been on that for a while.
here's another criticism I got: the after parties.
Okay.
The after party, we went into it Friday, and
I wanted to stay.
here's the deal: I thought the DJ was great. I thought the setup was great, but I feel like they don't put enough advertising or more oomph into what the after parties are as opposed to how they used to be
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
7 or 8 years ago. Because I remember like when Raven started going to PopCon with me in 2018,
This was my first time going.
um, we were outside.
That was amazing.
It was banging, dude. There was tons of
Mhm.
people
Yeah.
there and they were dancing and
Yep.
shit. And I remember one year we were in a building.
They had a bar out there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a bar outside. I mean, it was way more fun.
Hmm.
I feel like PopCon's trying to keep everything in the building now.
Wasn't that lot 10?
Gate 10.
Gate
It
10.
was at
Something
Gate
like
10.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like they had more interesting after parties. Something I wish they would do. Um, like I remember the one year they had the guy, they had Hodor DJ from fucking Game of Thrones.
Yes. Christian
Remember that?
Narn. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they had him DJ. And now we don't I don't even know who these DJs
I
are.
don't know. The DJ they had was freaking awesome.
Right, but it's not just about the DJ. It's about the environment.
No, I agree with
It's
that.
a whole thing. You
I
know that.
agree with that.
Oh yeah. It's a whole
The
thing.
DJ and the lighting setup was amazing. I just don't think they got proper exposure, recognition. I
Trying to
don't know.
look up all the old after parties they used to have.
I wish I knew who she was.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the old after parties they used to do in the PopCon Indy group. But oh, like okay, so like here you go. Like in 2023, they had all these like they had live bands, DJs, dancing, cosplay.
I don't remember that at all.
That was at the Sagamore Ballroom. That was in, well, I guess I was in the building still. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just remember them having
We didn't go to that,
so
did we?
many.
Because I don't remember that at all.
No, but they just had so much more fun. Much more fun things. Oh, here you go. They had a PopCon pajama party one year during for an
Yeah.
after party, and that was at Gate 10, Saturday, June 18th, 2016. I remember that.
Oh, no wonder I don't
Yeah,
remember. That was before I started going.
that
That
was the
sounds fun.
Saturday. That was the Saturday night. They had it at Gate 10. They used to use Gate 10 for everything. I wonder if it's just a price thing now.
I don't know. Gate 10 was fun.
Um, they used to do 5 Year Mission, which was the Star Trek band,
Yeah. What's up
and they
with
would
that?
do at like a different venue. Um, I mean,
I
they
I
think a
love
had
those
big,
guys.
so much
but I
shit.
think a big part of it too is trying to keep everything together there at the convention center. Probably for ease and cost.
Like, see, look at this one. I'm showing Raven some photos, guys, in case you're
But
wondering.
did you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yes, yes. So look at this. Like, they had an after party. That was the very first year, and they had like this chick up on like they had like some dancers and stuff doing stuff. I don't know what venue that's
Doing
in, but
stuff.
doing stuff. Yeah, doing stuff. She was just dancing, like suspended above the air, doing stuff with rings and stuff like that, just some dancing. But yeah, there it is, Christian Narns, the
Yeah.
Vogue. There it is. They had a
The
preview party for
Vogue. Yeah,
PopCon that
that's
year.
right.
I am pretty positive
It's
that
got to do with
it's got
funds.
to do with cost
Yeah,
and convenience.
I think that
Well, we
has.
are talking about a post-COVID world too, where a lot of
Yeah.
people are weird about shit too. So,
Okay, here's the one that I
yeah.
remember going to. So it was Friday, July 7th, the official Friday night after con for PopCon Indy. This was at Gate 10. All ages are welcome. It was a PopCon comedy show and a dance rave from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Party deck comedy show, dance rave indoors with DJ Shy Guy says. I remember that. I definitely remember that. Um, it was like they had a casual gaming and hangout room. So yeah, and then it has all the genres at the bottom. There we go.
Okay, but that doesn't sound much different than what they had this year.
Yeah, but it's all about the building they were in. So like I definitely remember like they had like the DJ was right in front of a open like garage door and people
Okay.
were walking by him and you could hear it all. I mean, you could hear it outside too. It was loud.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
they
Bang.
had they did not they had some beverages for adults. They had
Yep.
some stuff for kids like snacks and chips and stuff. And it was all ages welcome and it was way more fun. Because to me, it's like I don't want to stay in the building I've been in all damn day to have an after party. It's like after I should be outside. I don't want to stay in the building. I
Yeah.
want to go out. I want to get out of the building that we've been in all day long. Go out, meet with my friends, meet with people. You know what I'm saying? And that was from
Yeah.
9 to 2 a.m. And I got all the genres down here finally too. Yeah, there it is. So here's the genres: internet, comics, fantasy, cosplay, sci-fi, gaming, horror, anime, art and music, and TV and movies. Those are your genres.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. So let's talk about pricing. I know Josh, you had an issue with pricing.
I did have an issue with pricing, and it was kind of like a multi thing issue because you brought up the using of Eventry earlier. Um,
The
that's
using
how
of the what?
Eventi,
Oh,
what's it
oh,
called?
Eventi,
Yeah,
yeah,
whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah,
Eventini, I think, yeah. Hmm.
yeah. Um, that's how much they're on my shit list. I didn't even bother to get their name right. Um, it showed me that I had a whole ass valid ass ticket.
Okay.
So we assumed that Rachel could get into the show, and I thought it was like a leftover ticket from an older show or something. No, that was the original ticket that Carl sent through and then canceled because he ended up sending me a 3-day ticket.
Well, yeah, I told you it
So
was gonna that he told you I told you
yeah,
that was gonna happen.
that
Yeah.
whole issue was because of Venti or whatever didn't clear it shit out or like clarify what that was. It was just a ticket
Oh,
sitting in my account when I went and looked it up.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he
So
said he thought it was from leftover,
yeah, it was left
something
over from an
leftover.
older one or
I
something.
see.
Yeah.
I gotcha. That
Yeah.
there wasn't you didn't it didn't make it clear on there. Okay,
It didn't make it clear. Yeah.
gotcha.
So when I
Understand.
go to use it, oh, this ticket's been canceled.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it was like, okay, that's absolutely, this was day 3. We didn't go
Sunday,
Friday. Rachel found something else to do on Saturday. So
right?
this is Sunday. This is the 3rd day of the con. So I said, you know what? Not a big deal.
Yeah.
I'll just step over into this other line and we'll buy a ticket.
Okay.
The lady said, cash or card. I said, that'll be card. She said, okay, that'll be $50
For Sunday.
for Sunday. I
That's
said,
insane, by the way.
for a day pass? And she said, yep. And kind of like it was one of those things like I was in the wrong for wanting to clarify that I was getting the right ticket because, like you, Brian, I've been going to conventions for a very long time. I've gone to the first PopCon. I haven't been to everyone like you have, but I've been to a lot of them in between. And I feel like $50 on Sunday was definitely kind of like an insult.
So
That stuff's a lot of stuff's packed up, a lot of stuff's put away. Um,
Mhm.
some of the guests are only there Friday and Saturday only. Like it's definitely not the full con experience if you're only buying a day pass for a Sunday.
mhm. Well, I'm looking here on the Eventini website for
Yeah,
PopCon. It says that the Sunday admission is 40, but you bought it there, right?
I bought it there
So that's probably why it was more. You bought it at the show.
at the show, which is still ridiculous. No, I'm saying my problem with the Ventini
Hmm.
is it showing me that I had a ticket. My problem
I
with the
get that.
pricing is that they charged me $50. Those are two separate
Right.
gripes. But
So
yeah,
what I will
that
say about the price, I think I do think that price is a bit much. Um,
that is.
here's why. So the uh the hall is open at 10:30 and it closes at 5. So it's the shortest day of your convention.
Yep.
Shortest day. It is the shortest day. Okay. Um, I think Saturday for $50 would be more
That's
understandable,
acceptable.
which it was. Well, it'd be like 60 with taxes and fees. I'm looking at here. So to me, here's why I think it should be like $30, right?
Right.
It tends to be the more family day. Um, I don't know. Sunday always tends to be the slower day, the least busiest
Yeah.
day of any convention. My other problem is on Sunday, a lot of the vendors leave early.
Yep.
So you're definitely not getting a full shebang of everything that you would normally get on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
You're not getting a full shebang. There is, let me see what
Yeah,
kind of,
I think and I could be mistaken on this. It could just be that they left early on Sunday, but like the leather workshop classes that they had upstairs,
the armory thing was
yep, the
gone.
armor thing, the armored crusaders or whatever they were,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
they were gone. Uh, yeah, there was quite a bit that
yeah. I mean,
there
Sunday
were
is
a
the
lot of
day.
the vendors were gone.
Yeah, the
I
Vernon
wouldn't say
Vanguard
a
armored.
lot of the
Mm.
vendors, but there were several that I saw were gone.
Yeah, the Vernon
Yeah.
Vanguard armored combat.
Yeah, combat, that's what it was. Armored combat. Couldn't think of the name.
Trying to find the list of like everything to do during the whole weekend. But outside of that, I mean, oh, here's full schedule. So Sunday is your day of just like, there's not much left to do, right? Like,
Yeah.
here we go.
Well, not
So they
only
had
that,
a
she was just coming to see us too, was the main point, and it was like, oh, okay, $50 for that just kind of seemed upsetting.
Mhm. So we had, let's see, where was the armored combat at? Because we got there like it wasn't even like 4. I think we got there like 2 and they were gone already.
Yeah, it was way early in the
Yeah,
day.
it was early.
It
Like it
I kept
was,
thinking it was
they were
later in the
gone,
day because
gone.
so much stuff was shutting down. Yeah.
hmm Yeah, I'm looking at this and I don't even see it. Like,
I was like, were they even on the schedule for Sunday?
well, my problem with the website too, one issue is,
It's very difficult to navigate. Look at that.
well, it's not. Some of it is, some of it's not. Um, what I would like to see, and this is a suggestion for the website. I know they did a recent redesign, and I think it looks kind of good. But one thing they should do is under the things to do attractions. And if you are following along, you can do this too. Go to PopCon's website, go to Indy website, click things to do, click attractions. It's going to give you all the main stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I click on the Vernon Vanguard Armored Combat, it gives me a video, a YouTube video to
Hmm.
see what it looks like.
Yeah,
When I scroll down, it does not give me
the time.
dates and times that this is going to happen. So if
Yeah.
in my mind as a con goer for we'll say 20 years,
That
right?
means it's going to be there the whole
Right.
time.
That to me means you're there the whole entire time
Yeah.
and you're not done until 5 o'clock or
Yeah.
whenever. So from now on, they need to start with their big attractions, putting times for things like the Circle City Clash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the robots.
There's no,
Yes.
they have a
They
schedule for
have a
that.
schedule on that
Oh, they
one.
have a schedule for that.
Okay.
Why did they
See,
not have
I
a
didn't
schedule?
see
Look, there's not
that.
even anything for Sunday. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, they're
Saturday,
not listed for Sunday.
but they were there Sunday
They were.
because we went and
Right.
watched them Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, we all kind of tried to go see him, and it was the end of everything. It was like, all right, thanks for being here. Bye. And it was like, well, all right, you're
So they
welcome.
need to better get the schedules down for all of this stuff and make it where it's easier to view. And
Yeah.
you don't need a venti. You just put it here. Like just like how you put everything else here. How you put the rules and the food and the spectators and blah blah blah. Blah. Doors open at 10 a.m. Put down here when they're going to be there. Which, by the way, that leads me to another point. The battle bots being where they were in that big, massive hall, was it like J, I think, or Hall I, where the registration was where we picked up our basses. Um, I didn't realize that even BattleBots were in there until Sunday because they were far away, tucked into a corner, and I didn't realize they were there. I didn't see a sign in the front of the door saying, "Hey, the Robot Smashing League guys are here. They're in here. Get your badges here."
Yeah.
There should have been a sign outside the door that said, "Pick up your passes here. Also, be sure to check out." And then they could have put the board game library, which was in there. They could have put um, that the Robot Smashing League was there, and then they could have put the main stage. Which, by the way, this is the first
Mhm.
year PopCon I never went to the main stage, not
Yeah.
once,
I
not
didn't think
one
about that.
time.
I
You
didn't.
know why? Because the gosh damned main stage was like so far back. It was.
It
Did you not?
was
Did you? It was. It
It's
was
so
like I don't even know where it
literally.
awkward.
was.
Okay, so Raven, you know how when we walked into that area where we picked up our badges,
No, because I wasn't there.
you
Okay.
went in that room with us. Yeah, you did.
I was not there
It,
when you picked up the badges.
Okay,
no, it's okay. I know how to
not the
relate
minute
this.
we picked up the badges. I'm talking about when we went just in that room in general. We've been in there.
I don't know because I
You
don't
were in there for
recall
the
that that was the
robots.
room.
You were there
Thank
for the
you for the
robots.
robots. Thank you.
So
Yes.
okay, so you remember where
Yes,
the robots
I know
were?
this
Thank you,
because we
Josh.
spoke to each
So you
other in
remember where
that
the
room.
robots were?
Yes.
Okay, so like they were straight in the very back. There were these where the other hall opened. The main stage was like way, way, way back there, tucked away.
And it was
I'm
weird because it
sorry.
felt like it was somewhere out of bounds, like you shouldn't be going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
It.
and there wasn't a lot of good signage showing where the main stage
I
was
don't
from
even
like
know
the
yeah,
what was happening on the main
lobby.
stage.
The
The
main
main stage did
stage,
not feel like a main stage
it
because I didn't.
felt
at all.
like it was disconnected from the
Yeah.
entire con.
And
Well,
I feel like a
so
main stage should be like front and center.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that was the kind of thing
absolutely.
that bothered me because what was going on is Brian, you were talking to the robots guys and finishing up your video and
Mhm.
stuff for the
Yeah,
blog.
yeah.
And while I was waiting for you to do that, I just kind of like, hey, what's going on over here? And Rachel, Bryce, and I just kind of crept over, and it was weird because the way everything was felt up, I know at least I felt like we weren't supposed to be there. And I'm pretty sure if Bryce were here right now, he would say the same thing because
Hmm.
it felt awkward
Yeah.
because they had the stage and the two screens and it was a nice setup, but everything was dark and it just felt like a backstage area.
It
And
did. That's
it
how
was
it felt to me when
yeah.
I walked in and I looked all the way across from the entry of the hall, from the main like hall, you know.
Yeah.
I looked
And the only
straight
reason
back and I'm like, what is that darkness back there?
yeah. And the only reason I
You know?
stayed is because it was they were talking about that 70s show. And I know I'm gonna say her last name wrong, but it was Laura Prepon.
Yeah,
And it was pretty cool because I grew up watching that show with my dad. That's something that we connected over a lot. So it was like, oh man,
right, right.
that was cool. And I wanted to hear a couple things. And then I went over to, when we were ready to mosey on. But it
Yeah.
just I don't know, for being a main stage, it sure felt like a fuck off stage, is the
It
best way to
felt
put it.
so disconnected from the entire con. And I will say this,
Yeah.
I can say this with certainty. I've been to every single one. This by far was the absolute worst main stage placement of all cons that they've had there. The
That you've ever
absolute
been.
worst placement of all the pop cons I've been to that have been in there, which all of them have in that building for Indy.
Okay. I
Worst placement.
definitely would agree.
I went to more events in the main stage too, which I felt was way more accessible. Granted, it was up an escalator and right there. Because
Yeah.
that's Raven, where we went and saw Breakfast Anytime, or second breakfast and Penguin Night Fight.
Yeah,
That was main stage too.
second floor.
That was more accessible and easier to find than the main stage.
I didn't even
Yeah.
realize that was called main stage two. I
It
just thought it
was.
was a
It was
panel
called
room.
main
I
stage
didn't
too.
know that
Yeah,
there was a
because it's
main
a big
stage
room.
too.
It's a massive room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, I will say this. I think it was 2015, 2016 PopCon. They had the main stage as a side area right from the vendor hall. I don't know if you remember that, Josh, but you'd be in the vendor hall and there was a corner, and the vendor hall just like transitioned right into the main stage area. That's what I wish they
Yes.
would do.
Yes. Yes. No,
Remember
I
that?
remember that, and I
Remember that?
loved that. That
Yeah,
was
because
fantastic.
yeah, and I loved that. I wish they would do that
Yeah.
again if they can configure it.
Yep.
Another
That was
criticism I
great.
have is I wish, and I have yet to see a con that has done this.
Hmm.
I want, I As a guy who used to go to malls all the time, I loved me a damn good mall directory. I really wish PopCon had a con directory. Just like
Yeah,
sprinkle them out
Yeah.
in places.
I agree. You are here.
You are here. Yes. That way I had to pull out my phone and be like, where's this at? Where's that at? That way I can get a bird's eye view of the show, know right where I'm at on the map, and say, all right, I gotta go over here or something. Or if they're able to, I don't know what their budget is. It doesn't seem like their budget's really good anymore, like it used to be. I
Well,
feel
I
like their
mean,
budget has took a hit because of Louisville.
yeah, I was gonna say they're recuperating from Louisville. That's
Yeah.
that's that's a big point
Yeah,
that I
you can
want to make
tell.
up for a lot of our cons on this is that it's definitely because they're making up from Louisville.
Yeah. For me, it's I will say, and this actually leads to the next point, lack of overall attendance. Um
Yeah.
Felt like a Sunday. I didn't feel like there was many people there on Saturday at all. I don't know if it was just because of how big the vendor hall is now, how massive it is, but to
Hmm.
me, that was a that looked like, now I could be wrong. Once again, I don't know what their numbers are. Only they know those numbers. They never release
Yeah,
their attendance
right.
numbers. I don't know why they do that. Um, I don't know. For me, Saturday was not very heavily attended. Did you guys feel that same way?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't feel like there was a lot of people there on Saturday.
Not as many as there had been in the past.
I didn't get a
Yeah.
Saturday vibe like I usually get. A very distinct Saturday vibe like I usually
Yeah.
get. Did you guys like the fact that they had a lot of those events upstairs?
I did, yeah.
Because I can never go upstairs at that at that convention center.
I really did like how they separated that for
Me
sure.
too.
That's one of my biggest takeaway. I loved that.
It's
Yeah.
separate little like
Yep.
it's not down the hall and to the left on another side of the show. It's like all
Yeah.
right
Yep.
there. I did like that.
Yep. I loved that. It wasn't an overly amount of walking to do, which, we do walk a lot
Oh God,
anyway.
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And we stayed in a hotel downtown, so we just walked from the hotel too. So I mean, like we walked a lot, and that was really nice. I liked that a lot.
Josh, what did you think about the going upstairs for stuff?
I was absolutely indifferent until you pointed out that, yeah, it keeps you in the same part of the convention center
Yeah.
instead of going all over the place.
It
Because
didn't
Yeah.
feel
honestly,
as
me,
detached.
yeah,
That didn't. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like, yeah, I didn't feel any sort of way until you made me realize, like, yeah, no, that being up there really was a good thing. That was a great
Yeah.
thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
good on them.
Yeah. Because I mean, before in the past, like I would just be so, I don't know, tired and worn out and like just it wasn't fun for me to have to lug, stuff from the vendor hall and everything and try to lug it
Yeah,
all the way across the other side of the convention center to, watch something and then have to lug stuff all the way back over to somewhere else. Like
Right.
it was just so nice and convenient and less stressful to
Yeah.
do that.
yeah.
Um, did you guys have any other criticisms? Something you noticed maybe could have been better? Maybe something that they could do to improve the show?
This isn't necessarily, I don't think, with PopCon, unless it was, just because attendance was low, but
Mhm.
I felt like, and I wasn't even in the vendor hall very much. And when I went through Sunday, I felt the vendors were, um, I don't want to necessarily say they were pressuring you a little bit more.
Because
I
it was
did.
Sunday.
Hmm.
Rachel felt the same way, and
Okay,
so did
so
I.
it wasn't just me.
Gotcha.
No.
And that's not typical. And again, it could have just been those vendors. It could have been maybe because attendance was low and
That's what I think it
they
is.
were trying to like
Yeah.
sell, but I felt like they were a little more pushy than usual. Like it wasn't,
Huh, I didn't feel that way, but I didn't. You probably saw more pictures than I did.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would say
Uh,
I think it had to do with attendance, but yeah, go ahead, Josh.
yeah. And
yeah. I
again, that's
mean,
not necessarily on PopCon. I mean, that's
No, that's their
not their
fault.
fault. And it's not necessarily a criticism of PopCon. It's just a takeaway that I had.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
right. And it was weird because there was one vendor, and I won't. I'll try to keep it vague,
Yeah.
but they
Okay.
were selling a product that was definitely it was nerdy and wrestling at the same time, and it was really cool, but I didn't agree with the price.
Mm-hmm.
I
And they
got
were
you.
super pushy about it.
Mm.
Gee.
And Rachel was like, I didn't feel comfortable, and I wasn't even the one to talk to. That was one. And then there was a couple things where it was like we had to like help, each other get away, because it was like, okay, I was just trying to say I like this, and it kind of we were made to feel like if we didn't buy something, we were wasting their time. Like what
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
was going on?
Yeah. And there was, and a couple of them weren't even, like you said, pushy to me. I witnessed vendors being a little pushy to um, other patrons or
Patrons,
yeah,
attendees,
thank you.
attendees.
Yeah.
Attendees, thank you. I couldn't find the word. Like, and again, like you, I won't say who it was, but there were multiple people manning this booth and they were offering a special, and it wasn't just a Sunday special, it was a special for the weekend.
Okay.
And someone was just browsing next to me and they were like, "Oh, well, do you want this and this and this?" And they're like, "Oh, no, I really can't do that." And they're like, "Oh, well, do you have a friend with you who you can split the price with?" And
Yeah.
and they just like three times, and I'm just and the lady and the girl walked away. I was just like,
Jeez. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or
Um.
the one guy that I like, once again, we're not outing anybody specifically, but
Right.
I was like, "Hey, this is really cool. How much?" And he looked at me, he looked back at the product on display, he looked at me again, he goes, "For you, $200." I was like, "Get fucked for $200." Um,
Yeah.
and then there was the other guy. So let me tell you, um, I think I've mentioned a couple times on this show specifically that I've been trying to get my hands on a colored copy of Scott Pilgrim, the reprints that they've been doing. It's something we've talked about a
Hmm.
couple times on this show.
Yeah.
So at PopCon, I walked onto the most recent printing of the color, and it comes in a really cool box that's made to look like the original PlayStation 1 box. It's something that I've really wanted. MSRP on that bad boy is like $250.
Right.
Recently, Ollie's Discount got a hold of a whole bunch of them. We're selling them for $50 a piece. So this guy was kind of being cool and doing the Lord's work by wanting to sell it for $90. But
Right.
I walked up to it, grabbed it, had to have it. I said, "Hey man, I don't have any liquid cash with me right now, but
Oh yeah.
I can pay with my credit card. I'll buy this right now." Not only was he a little upset in telling me that he wouldn't take anything other than cash, but he was
Uh-huh.
kind of a dick with everything afterwards, knowing that I only had a credit card. He just wouldn't take my money, is what it was, because he was even wanting me. He's like, "You can go to ATM and take those fees, and just get cash out." And I was like, No, man, that's not what I want to do."
Yeah.
It was the whole thing, and it's kind of like it was a moment that went from being like extremely fantastic to me for probably being one of the worst moments of the con was I couldn't buy the thing that not only did I want, I finally had found for a great price. And
Yeah.
I just couldn't get it because the money wasn't jiving with how I wanted to pay. And it was really weird because so many of the things in that building are cashless. And I get why certain
Yeah.
vendors would only want cash, but it's one of those things that I feel like in this day and age, if you have the
You
square
really should
meter,
have
like,
another means of
or
accepting
something,
payment
yeah,
than just cash.
I'm fine with
Especially
paying.
when, I mean,
Yeah,
all the concessions and everything are cashless. Like the convention
that's what I'm
center
saying. Yeah,
itself is a cashless
yeah,
facility. So, and it's not even the fact that he did only accept cash. It was, I think, what upset you more is his attitude about the whole thing.
Yeah.
it was the attitude about the whole thing, because you know what? I could have found $90.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
Yeah, but that just makes you not want to at that point. Like, why would you want to give your
exactly.
money to somebody like that who's not even going to
Which
be appreciative of it?
yeah, but
Um.
if you're worried about my feelings on that one, I ended up coming across a set of Ninja Turtles that cost a whole lot more, and I ended up using that $90 later on, so it's all cool.
Yeah.
All good there.
Yeah. All right.
Um. One thing I want to talk about
Yes.
is I will say a positive real quick.
I was gonna say, are we
Yeah.
gonna talk about fun stuff?
We'll
Because I
say
mean,
we'll say this. I really had a fun time with our friends at Second Breakfast.
oh,
Hmm.
absolutely.
They put on a heck of a show every year.
Hmm.
It
Oh
was
yeah.
really nice to discover Penguin Knife Fight.
Yeah,
Yes.
Those guys were fucking hilarious.
yeah.
My
I've heard
God,
good things.
I I hope they come back. I heard they are going to come back again.
Oh yeah, Josh, you didn't get to see them, did you?
Oh
I didn't
God,
know.
Josh, you gotta
Oh,
be able.
sad.
You gotta stay later. You gotta stay a little bit later, Josh.
I
I
bought a
am
penguin
old and
holding
I
a
don't
knife.
like late.
Too bad.
Me either, but they were
Too bad.
fun.
Your day off. You can be up
Yeah.
late. You can be a kid again.
Well,
Um,
next
Totally
time I'll
worth.
figure out and make sure that Rachel's got a pass instead of some pass
Yeah.
that's not real. And
Well,
we'll do stuff.
it was
Um,
funny because our friend Kenny, like we saw him on Friday and he even told me that like Saturday he was staying the latest that he's ever stayed at a con before. He was gonna stay until 10 o'clock because he wanted to see those two improv shows that were back to back,
yeah,
one at 8 and one at 9. And he did, and like it was fantastic. It was so worth it.
yeah, those guys were
good,
great. They were
good.
hilarious. I heard they're gonna be back again next year. I had an
They've been
idea.
there before, yeah.
I was talking to. I'm sorry, what?
They've been there before, yeah.
I think
Mm,
so. Yeah, I think they've been there. Yeah, they. I'm pretty sure they were there last year.
Ew,
Penguin Knife Fight. I'm pretty sure they've been there
don't
before.
think so.
They have
Well,
been.
I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
they've
know.
been there several times in previous years, but
Yeah, but
Hmm.
I had
Hey,
talked
John.
to my friend Nicholas Worman, who is in charge of the International Film Festival that goes on there. He is a stand-up comedian. He's been a friend of mine there since the beginning. We've both been going there that long. And I had an idea where I think what would be fun is if we had some stand-up comedians at PopCon and they just kind of had like a whole block of like you've got some stand-up comedians and you've got Second Breakfast and you got Penguin Eye Fight. Maybe do that on Friday night, you know,
yeah.
a whole thing.
I think yes, that is another great idea because I was really trying to think about the comedy aspect, and yeah, they had that. Maybe there was a couple of panels that I wasn't aware of, but I
Hmm.
can't think of really any like guests that were there as comedy guests.
Yeah,
Um,
Hmm. Yeah. Um,
there's one panel that I didn't even get to see that I
yeah,
want them to bring back next year because I want to see it. And
what was that?
I can't remember the exact name of it. But it was something about oh, gosh.
mhm.
These were talking about banned books and
Oh,
just why they were banned and stuff. And I've heard from a couple of different people that the guest speaker was really great and that it was a really cool panel. So I'm really bummed I missed
okay,
it, especially with me
yeah,
getting back into books and everything this year. And
yes,
I think that's a great panel to have at a PopCon.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you guys this real quick. I know we're about to
mm,
end the show here soon. This was the 12th year for PopCon, and are we concerned about the longevity of this convention?
mm,
I don't know. I feel like we focused on a lot of negative stuff today, but
no,
I'm not. After
Okay.
attending
no,
this year, if you would have asked me the past couple of years, maybe, but after this year, no.
Oh, okay.
I had a fantastic time.
That's good.
And even though I think and again, like you said, we don't know the numbers for sure, just based on where we were and what we're
Yeah,
used to seeing, it seemed like
yeah.
attendance was down. However, I mean, we also weren't out in the vendor hall and doing a lot of the things that we usually do at PopCon. We had, um,
Well, we were busy because we had things.
exactly. So
mhm,
That doesn't count because we weren't a typical attendee. I
right. But what I'm saying is, were we properly able to observe like we
Yes,
usually do?
I think I was.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
I
I'm just
base it.
saying the I heard so many great things from people about, what they
Yeah,
attended and
yeah,
what they watched and everything. So I'm not necessarily, even if attendance was down this year,
yeah.
the people that were there, I feel like had a great time. And we didn't go to the feedback
yes,
panel, so I'm not sure what transpired there. But
that's true too.
I
yeah.
would say based off my own observation as someone who's been there every year.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm slightly concerned just because the attendance was really unusually low.
Well,
Um, I would
And
say
this,
this was probably, and once again, I did not see the typical
Mhm.
amount of people for Saturday. As
Okay.
someone who covers various cons, not just this one, but has also been to this one every year in Indy, this looked like a rather unusually low attendance for a Saturday. And I'm only basing that off of as someone who observes every year when I go there. It just I don't know, y'all. I just for me, it felt like there wasn't as many people this year. Um, I really hope that they can get back some of that old flair they had like 10 years ago. Like bring some of that oomph that they had. Because I mean they were doing so many big things. I feel like okay, let me put it this way. I feel like the show had low attendance and it might have to do with the fact they took such a hit in Louisville last 2 years. That might have something to do with it.
That
No,
could
no,
be
this
what.
is definitely a rebuilding, restructuring year for sure.
Yes,
Sure, for sure.
for sure.
But
Hmm.
I will say, when you mentioned Louisville, I talked to one of the guys over at in the PopCon area,
Yeah.
and when I mentioned that I was from here, but I live down in the Louisville area now, he was like, "I've actually talked to quite a few people this weekend that are from Louisville." And so I'm wondering if, because they're not coming back to Louisville, the people, that
Hey, all right, we're here.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
she just cut out, and
Sorry
I
about
wasn't
that.
sure what.
We had a we had a slight technical difficulty. Anyway, um, let me make sure I got that marked here.
Mhm.
what
One
was I
second.
saying? Can you guys hear me?
Hold on one second.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, can you try your mic again?
Hello, hello. Nope, nothing.
Hold on.
You sure I'm on that one? There you go. You had the wrong
There,
one muted.
there we go. We're back.
Okay, great.
All right, I don't remember what I was saying mid-sentence. Shoot.
It's fine. So we were talking about the longevity of the show. So, um, I mean, do we think we're concerned at this point? And I mean, I know some of you, I know you guys said no. Me as someone who has attended every single one of every single version of the show, I'm sorry, every single one in Indy. Um,
Yeah.
I just slightly am just because low
You
attendance.
had asked me a question. I can't.
But just low attendance, and for me, I think it is that, but then again, I think it has to do with the fact that they took a hit from PopCon in Louisville the last 2 years. You were
Oh,
talking
that's what
about
it was. That's
A
what it was.
vendor,
So yeah, a
and
vendor who had stated that he had talked to quite a few people that were from Louisville. And I thought, well, since they're not coming back to Louisville, that maybe, the people who did see them in Louisville, um, came up to Indy, which I think is great. I don't know. That was all I was gonna say.
yeah. What about you, Josh?
Um, I mean, that's the thing is everything's not doing that great right now in
Right.
general,
Yep.
economy wise. So I feel like the fact that, despite the fact,
Mm,
because trust me, I still work with people and money and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
in my regular job, and things just aren't flowing right now. So the fact that people came out, this past weekend
Yeah.
and did things and spent money, in general right now at a time where things are really kind of hurting all over the place
Yeah.
means that people love PopCon. And
Yep.
as long as if you build it, they will
They will
come.
come. Yeah.
So yeah, it might not be the greatest PopCon, but I mean, there's going to have to be more than one not so great PopCon to make it dead.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, if
you
this
know,
happens 2 years in a row, then that's a telling story, I guess. Like
I
if
yeah,
don't
they don't
know.
have as many attendees next year.
All I know is I had a lot of fun.
I
Like,
mean,
and I will, I,
have fun, but that doesn't mean like I'm talking about in the grand scheme of things. I'm talking about personally. I'm talking about
yeah,
overall observation.
I know.
Like
yeah.
you can have fun, that's fine. I'm not saying you can't have fun at a low attended show. I'm talking about overall as them as a business.
Mhm.
Will they be able to maintain at this rate if it's the same amount of attendees? If you take your personal fun out of it, think
Right.
about this as a business for them as a brand. Do you think them moving forward with this low attendance they had, which it was very obvious they had low attendance? Like, I'm sorry, but I did not see as many people as I've seen in years past on a Saturday alone, which is supposed to be your busiest day of an entire convention weekend.
Mhm.
I just don't know if that happens again, how much longer they'll be able to continue.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I mean, I'm trying to stay hopeful. Believe me, like I don't want them
Right.
to not be a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they really need to pull some rabbits out of the hat. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Um,
No, and I agree. I
yeah,
definitely think that they know that it's going to be tougher to get people next year, and they're going to have to step
mhm.
up the game. Maybe
Yeah.
we should
Oh
go
yeah.
with a quality over quantity situation,
Yeah,
and
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
maybe the celebrity row doesn't need to wrap all the way around the hall, but
Yep.
maybe we need to get
Yes.
someone that's worth actually seeing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I hate
And
putting
then
it
and
that
then
way.
focus on the activities. No, that's I get what you're saying.
Yes. I think for
Yeah,
them,
because
they. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to tack onto that because like the four Ninja Turtles and April O'Neil.
Mhm.
That's a great get, but they've been doing a lot of stuff together lately. So the five of them together, there wasn't that as unique a situation as it had been
Yeah.
previously,
Yeah.
and the cost to get the photo op with all five of them was pretty steep too. So it was
Mhm.
one of those things that it's like I really think that they should go with some more razzle dazzle as opposed to
Someone a little bit
a
more high
blanket.
profile currently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
I think
sure.
if you're gonna spend your budget on celebrity guests, you need to get that one or two get like what was it last year? They had Elijah Wood and what's his name
Fuck
from Lord of
yeah.
the Rings.
Yeah.
Those were huge,
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah,
I know that we have talked in the past, is what I wanted to touch on a little bit. I know that we had talked in the past about, high profile celebrities and then more activities. And I loved the activities. I feel like they had a lot more um
Andy Circus is what I was
there
thinking.
you go. Yeah. I feel like they had a lot more appealing activities going on this year, that appealed to a lot more different types of people, than they have in the past.
Mhm.
And I like that there was a bigger variety and that they didn't have the same types of things over and over again like I've seen in the
Yeah.
past. Like with improv and comedy, it's different because they can show up every year and it's going to be something different. You know you're going to have fun, it's going to be laughs and everything. But there were
yeah.
some, I'm not going to say who, but there were some activities and people and things in the past that they've had over and over and it just kind of got boring because it was repetitive,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
wrestling is always going to be different. Wrestling's
Yeah.
always going to be the things that are interactive and fun, really gets the crowd involved and they feel like they're more a part of it. And I feel like that they did have a lot more of those types of activities this year. And I think that's going to be what keeps people there. And I think it's going to be what keeps people coming back.
I absolutely agree. Because for me, it's celebrities are great,
Hmm.
but they only get you so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're the only people that are going to come from the celebrities are the ones that just want to see them and don't care about anything else. I
And that
think
is
what
a great
you
point.
do, and I think what made PopCon so special for me, at least, when the first 4 years of the show was probably the best cons they had. 14, 15, 16, and 17 were the best 4 years. Their peak was still 2016. That was the best one they ever had.
Definitely.
that was when they had Kevin Smith was there. They had an independent wrestling promotion doing a show there.
Oh
They
man,
had the
yeah.
Halo Championship Series there that one year.
Lloyd Kaufman was there.
Right, they need big attractions. Like big. They need to think big again. Go back to I think y'all need to go back to the writers' room again, the metaphorical writers' room, and be like, all right, we need to think big. And I know they have a limited budget. I understand.
Mhm.
They're working with what they made, or after what they paid everybody and everything off all their expenses. So I think what they need to get some guests. I mean, I think I think Michael Jai White hurt him too. Him canceling was
That
big.
hurt my feelings.
Sure, but I think what they need to do is they need to reach down deep and they need to really, do something like for instance, when they said they were going to get all the voice actors for Ninja Turtles, I wanted to see Twisted Tunes. I missed the
Hmm.
Twisted
I
Tunes
miss
thing.
Twisted
Bring
Tunes.
back Twisted Tunes.
Yeah.
Again. Um, I'd love to see some more musical acts. I know
I
Carl said
was just going to say I would love to see somebody musically.
yeah, Carl said
Yeah.
if he had infinite budget, he'd lean more into music, having good music there. Do that.
He did
But
say
do
that, yeah.
something. Have like an esports arena there again. They had that. They used to have that all the time. They don't really do that much anymore. Outside of like a side room that has some stuff on the wall. Put that shit back in the main hall. Another problem with the main hall was lack of seating area. There was barely any place to sit and eat concessions. Because the PerCon
Yeah,
tables, they didn't want you to
you're
do it
right.
there, which
That
okay,
was
I get, fine. But
that
there
was
was
a serious
no,
issue I had too.
yeah, there was like no place to sit and eat your food
Mhm.
outside of the PopCon podcast stage, which I don't think I want a bunch of people just sitting eating their food there, unless I mean that's fine, I guess, but limited space for that. Take advantage of the big spaces that you have and use those for events. I miss the events. That's what I miss. Celebrities are great, but let's be real here. I didn't really know many of the guests either. Honestly, like I barely knew any of the celebrity guests. Like
Yeah.
I was looking at that celebrity wall. I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are. Like Skylar Aston, Laura Prepon, Famke Janssen. I knew them. Ross
Yep.
Marquand, knew him. Uh,
Yeah, I only knew those three.
Barry Gordon, Nolan North, Eric Vale. I knew them for voice actors.
Yeah.
Sorry, Maurice LaMarche,
Well, I mean, yeah. There's the Marsh, yeah.
Cam Clark, Rob Paulson, Johnson Coleman. But those guys have been here before.
Right.
Outside of that, I didn't really know anybody. So, I mean, they just need to really, and I think also what would be kind of cool if they had was an MC for the weekend,
Yeah.
like a person. I know that's usually KJ, but KJ can't do it. She's got PerCon. So maybe it's time
Yeah.
to find a new person to be the voice of PopCon throughout the weekend. Get people hyped. And then maybe they can do a few events here and there in Indianapolis between this PopCon and next PopCon to hype it up too. So, but you're right, they're in a rebuilding phase, you know.
Very much so.
So I would love to end this on a positive note.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's do it.
Josh, what was your favorite thing about PopCon this year?
My favorite thing about PopCon this year. Mm. I mean, it's the same thing as every year. It's the variety of things to do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
So something that was kind of going on behind the scenes, and it was really funny because I'll tell this story, is that a friend of mine from back when I was living and working in Indianapolis had the day off, and he bought a ticket and was just hanging out with me. And I thought
Oh,
I
yeah.
introduced him to you guys,
You
and
did
no one
not,
knew who
dude.
he
This was
was.
funny.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
no one knew
I
who
thought
he
he was
was.
stalking
So
you the whole
this
time.
guy that
You
was
got a
just walking
stalker.
with us, and yeah, you guys and Bryce thought it was just some guy that was with us. I'm like, no, that's my friend Jason. He's totally cool. Yeah,
I mean, I
it
did
was a good time.
eventually I mean, I did figure out obviously that he was with you, but I
No,
was
yeah.
just
Yeah.
like, I, had no idea who this guy was.
Yeah, but it was really cool because he just kind of walked around with me all day, and we just found stuff to do and look at, and it was a good time.
Yeah.
I wish I would have shot more video for our blog, but I got to
Hmm.
really see a lot of PopCon, and there was a lot of stuff to do and see and experience on a vastly different scale. It's not horror, but it was good. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. What about you, babe?
My favorite thing at PopCon.
Hmm.
I would have to say again, it's the improv. Um, that's kind of something I look forward to every year, not just because we're friends with them, but
Yeah,
I would love to see more comedy at PopCon. Um,
yeah.
I'd like to see more adult comedy at PopCon.
Let's get some like stand up going.
That's what I'm
You know,
saying.
they've got
Build that up.
wrestling going the whole time. Let's
Yeah.
get some like rotating stand-up comics going. Some young guys, some fresh guys that want
Yeah,
to cut their teeth.
right.
And just with the understanding that there might not be anybody showing up, so they'll like do it for free or a day pass or something. I think
Yeah.
that's a great thing to start doing.
And they could also do like people that have been on the Bob and Tom show and Indiana Staple.
Hmm.
Yes.
Like find people that have been on Bob and Tom,
Hmm.
have those guys come out. Um, every fan needs to find their place, right? That's what the motto of a PopCon is.
That's gonna hit
So
somebody's dad real easy,
so let's do
you
that.
know? Yeah.
You know, make swearing okay at PopCon more.
Yeah, dropping shit during our all ages panel a couple of times, Brian.
Like, let's go. Come on. Maybe have some after hours podcasts.
Ooh,
Like,
yes.
like over 21 after hours.
And just
So
let me
like
go
for us
wild. Hell
old,
yeah, let's fucking do it.
No,
Brandon
I
so
mean,
Peters,
for
this
us
one's for you.
for us older folks who are not going to be to the after party, maybe they could have an adjacent after hours adult um like section.
right. Like, every fan needs to find their place, right? And gosh damn it, I'm not 15 anymore. So I'm getting older. So give us some,
Okay, so your favorite was improv.
yeah,
Okay.
improv for sure. I love the improv. I just want more comedy too. That's what I want. More
Okay.
comedy.
Agreed. Agreed.
What about you, Raven?
Aside from being able to do our podcasts live, which is always an awesome time,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I this was my favorite last year too, and I was surprised, but it- very much so improv.
Yeah.
Freaking loved the improv.
Hell yeah.
Loved it.
Mhm.
That's by far my favorite. Um, the guys they got, Second Breakfast and Penguin Knife Fight,
Ooh,
both amazing.
I had a great idea.
Mm.
They should have an improv comedy contest. Maybe
Oh,
like do like a sort of they have like the film festival going every year and they give awards out to that.
Mm-hmm.
They could try to like search for like improv comedy groups to come out one year. Not just
that
Penguin
would
Eye
be
Fight
cool.
and not just,
Mm.
Second Breakfast,
Yeah.
I don't know.
but have some more Midwest even groups. I'd love to see that. That'd be cool as hell.
Yeah.
And some stand-up comedians one year.
Yeah.
Because think
I
about it,
think
like with
that'd be great.
improv is audience participation. So if you get the attendees interacting with it, it'd be more fun
That's,
for them.
yeah, that's great.
Anything that can get the attendees involved more, we'll want them to come back more in general. So yes, yeah, the improv was fucking amazing. This year was great for it. I'm all for
Oh,
that. Hell yeah, give
and
me more
Wild
of
Bills. I love Wild Bills.
that. That I'm sure that'll be there. That I don't think that's going away. But just things to do more for the attendees and it not just be waiting in lines. Because nobody wants
Yeah.
to do that all the time.
No.
But well, there you have it, guys. Oh, did you have something else?
Yeah,
Well,
you
speak
keep
up.
Brian, you keep
Speak up.
interrupting me, dude.
Speak up.
Did you
Yeah.
guys have a favorite vendor or anything at all?
I
No?
didn't really go to
Okay.
vendors much.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I really enjoyed the Meat So Horny.
Oh yeah, them.
I love
Oh
them.
yeah, no, we
And
do
it was
definitely
great.
need to shout them out for sure.
well, it's like
Those
Josh,
guys are
you
great.
loved the Wild Bills, and that's why I was just thinking, earlier I was thinking I loved, tasting everything at the Meat So Horny booth.
Yeah.
And Valhalla, they're always fun to talk to.
The Valhalla is a printing guy.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, the Meat So Horny is probably my favorites. I love the name. I love the sauces and get to taste and everything. And again, getting people involved.
Yep.
Yep. So improv, that was my favorite vendor. Yeah, it was just a fun time hanging out with friends. And I mean, we saw quite a few people that we knew and got to
Oh
hang out
yeah,
a
I mean
little
that's a
bit.
big thing. I mean, I always say every
Yeah,
year,
the
PopCon's a
community.
family reunion every year to me. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I think what's good is I hope more people become part of that family. Like I think the Meet So Horny people are a great new addition to the PopCon
Oh
family.
yeah.
I think Penguin
Yes.
Knife Fight,
Yeah, I
great
was
new
gonna say
addition
Penguin Knife Fight.
to the
Yeah,
PopCon family.
they already said they wanted to come
You
back every
know,
year, so I hope
um,
that
I
happens.
think that's what it's about too, is adding more people to this family, this massive family of people. And I think I want it to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's what I love about PopCon the most. Really,
Yeah.
overall, is just it's like one big
The
family. And you're always
community.
looking forward to
Yeah.
the community. And um, I think if anything happened at PopCon where it went away, that'd be the one thing I'd miss the most as a community.
Yeah.
Because I feel
Yeah.
like we have more of a tight knit community there than we do any other con we go to.
Yep, yep.
That's fair to say. All right. Before I end the show, does anybody have anything else they want to say? Speak their piece now, or otherwise we're done.
No, I
This
think we're
episode.
good.
Okay,
Just
good. I want
Yeah.
to make sure nobody
Yeah.
missed out.
had an amazing, exhausting weekend.
All right. Well, guys, thanks so much for listening to this new episode of this current episode 116 of the Next Level Podcast. And by the way, also coming out this week will be our show we did at PopCon. I believe we did record
Yeah.
the Next Level there.
Yeah.
Or Brandon Peters recorded it, one of the two. We'll get that
I
episode
hope
put out
so.
soon.
Even
And
though he has all those signs.
yeah, you'll be able to hear that episode. I know, right? Uh, but thanks so much for listening to this. Either way, no matter where you're listening, whether it's on Good Pod, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more, we do appreciate you tuning in. And hopefully, you'll see us more at other cons because I want to get us at other cons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know we did our show at Indiana Comic Con. We'll be at other cons, hopefully. You'll see us
I want
there.
to do a horror con. Let's get it going.
Oh
Let's
my
get it
That would
cracking.
God,
be
that would be
fun.
amazing.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
podcasts at horror cons. But thanks so much
Been
for
to one more.
listening to our pros and cons for PopCon Indy 2025. And we'll see you on the next one.
Yep.
Take it easy, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you later, guys.
Peace.